What up, what up, what up, world? This your girl, Pure Beauty, Rare Heart, coming at you live all the way from Detroit. I hate to come back again with another mellow video before the end of the week. Like, we just getting started, unfortunately, because James Borrego just continues to be a dickhead. So, we're going to take it there. Of course, you already know I am not happy about last night's game. I had to, take my time watching it because I'm not even going to lie. I was losing interest. As I started to see that James is going to have them still keep running these same screens. He's still going to stick with the same people that he got starting, coming out. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Devontae Graham, I understand Hayward. I get that. But PJ, you starting with PJ? I mean, really? I understand Terry Rozier. I get that. But I'm really at a loss. I'm at a loss here. Like, for instance, Biz is cool. You can keep Terry Rozier. You can keep Hayward, but unless you come up with a selection between the two, like this constant yo-yo thing that James Borrego is doing with Melo is wrong, and it's not right for his confidence. It's not right for his development. And nobody's going to sit here and tell me that just because he is a rookie, that this is acceptable. No one's going to sit here and convince me that, because it'd be one thing if James wasn't doing these constant interviews, telling on himself, I like to call it, answering these questions one way one day, and then he completely switches his answer the next. And it kind of makes you think, who is this guy speaking to please? Who is he curating this response for? We already know, well, the majority of us that are thinking with our sense, we already know that a lot of his decisions are solely based on politics. We may not know exactly where it comes from, but we have a pretty good idea that it generally stems from the politics of things. And, it's understandable that they're not going to win every game. It's the Hornets. And it's just, to me, it seems like Borrego is allergic to winning. To me, that's honestly what it feels like here. I mean, you can't get upset at your team for not having this heart or this agility or this drive that you're looking for when you can't even remember the previous night's score. Like, y'all just played last night. How do you not remember the score from last night? And I'm speaking from this interview that I'm going to let you guys listen to, because it just doesn't make any sense to me. He was acting like, if anything, James starting to act like he may be on some type of drug. I guess I'm trying to come up with an excuse for him to be this naive. I really want to believe, a part of me wants to believe that this man is not going out of his way to sabotage Lamelo's career. But I hate to say it, but it's the sad truth that it's not seeming that way, because the way that, things are pointing in the media, the way these responses are looking, the low minutes, the pulling out of games when Lamelo is hot, the constant yo-yo effect, it just does not add up. I could understand if you were still sticking with the development and you saying the turnovers. Well, if that was the case, we can sit here and play a game, and we could literally count the turnovers that Gordon Hayward, Devontae Graham will sit and have on their own. Terry Rozier that will sit and have on their own, and they don't get penalized. Now, people can sit and say it's because they played for the team last year and he has developed a favorite or whatever you want to call it. Hey, that's neither here nor there. What does that have to do with the game of basketball? All that tells me is that you got a coach that's in his feelings. If this were a woman, then, people would will go out of their way telling, this woman to get out of her feelings. But because this is a man, we're going to tiptoe around this? No. I'm not tiptoeing around shit else with James, okay? And people can say he's not hearing the comments or whatever. I'm still going to say what the hell I need to say. Because guess what? We all know that if fans were in those stands, this shit wouldn't even be existing for as long as it's going on. We wouldn't even be talking about this still to this day. Lamelo would be starting. Devontae Graham would be sixth man. And we would have moved on by now. We're not going to blame this on LeVar. We're not going to sit and blame this on irrelevant mess. Because basically what's going on is they'll experience a significant win. Like, for instance, last night, Miles Bridges said that he had to put his foot down. And the night before last, Miles Bridges had to put his foot down to get the coach. He really didn't even come to an agreement. He got into it with the assistant coach to get things moving how he knew it should have been moving in his head. Because for some reason, they can't get their coaches, or this organization to see when we win, let's keep this same formula or something similar. At this point, anyone with eyes can see that James is the single-handed reason why Charlotte has taken their last, 5 or 6 losses now. He plays a major part in that, and you can pretty much say they would have lost the night before last if Miles didn't put his foot down the way that he did. So I'm going to let you guys listen to this Miles interview. First, we're going to do...
Hey, Miles, congrats on the win. Clearly, the turning point was the start of that fourth quarter. You guys were down 12 points and had a 25-4 run to kind of take control and then hung on at the end. What was kind of the mindset of the team going into the quarter that allowed you guys to regain momentum?
I have to say just defense and rebounding. They're killing us on the boards. We want to just come out with a lot more energy, man. We didn't want to lose this game and pick up our 5th straight loss. So we came out with a lot of fire on defense and just moving the ball on offense.
Let's go to Danny and then Rick.
Miles, Danny Thompson with a 3-point conversion. JB said after the game that you had said a speech or you got the team fired up in the fourth quarter. Could you give us an idea of what you told the team to spark that 25-4 run to start the fourth quarter?
I was kind of mad that they kept scoring on our zone. So I was just like, hey, let's get out the zone and guard like man to man. Like put your foot down and guard man to man. And me and one of the assistant coaches that got into it. And I guess that kind of just lit everybody up. So I don't know. Sometimes you got to have them altercations with your coaches, have that communication, just to help everybody get going.
Let's go to Rick and then Rod.
Miles, what beyond just the numbers, what sort of element has Gordon brought to you guys that might not have existed last season or two?
Just veteran leadership. He does a great job every game of just bringing his professionalism and telling guys what to do on the court and just staying calm at all times. I guess that's what I look up to him for the most, is just watching him in the fourth quarter once he gets in those tough situations and we put the ball in his hands and he creates a play and he's always calm about it. So he does a great job of just leading the team.
Do you think that he changes the culture?
Yeah, when Gordon's firing, I guess everybody's firing. Yeah, so if he's going, then that gets everybody else into it. and he finds his open teammates too. That's so special.
Thank you.
Let's go to Rod and then wrap up with Richard.
Hey, Miles, you mentioned, being fired up and wanting your teammates to kind of guard man to man there and get into it with coach on the bench there, man. Just what about that? And what about trying to be more of a leader on the team this year, trying to show guys, I guess, by example as well?
I mean, we just need a little diversity. We play better when we have our backs against the wall. So I just had to remind guys, like, look, we don't need to zone these guys. We can guard these guys man to man. We just got to bring a lot more energy and talk on defense, and that's what we did.
Let's wrap up with Richard.
You're on mute.
You're on mute, Richard.
Still on mute, Rich.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go, Richard.
Rich Walker, Carolina Sports Hub. Sorry about that. You guys, you mentioned it earlier about the possibility of a 5-game losing streak. I mean, how damaging would that have been, and how big of a deal is it to kind of get the monkey off your back, so to speak?
Yeah, just losing in general is just bad for everybody. It just changes the attitude in the locker room, changed the attitude on the court. So it was a must win for us, I believe. So we just want to get back on a winning streak and keep this thing going, hopefully.
And I have to say this for the record. Gordon Hayward led with 24 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. PJ Washington was also a starter. He played 23 minutes. He had 2 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Bismack Biyombo played 26 minutes. He had 7 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist. Devontae Graham played 36 minutes. He got 21 points. He actually had a decent game. 5 rebounds and 3 assists. Terry Rozier played 34 minutes. He had 24 points, 2 assists, 1 steal, and Gordon Hayward also got 3 steals. Miles Bridges played 27 minutes. He got 10 points, 5 rebounds. Lamelo played 21 minutes and 6 seconds. He got 9 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 blocks. I'm just not understanding why PJ is starting when Lamelo could be starting. Like, 2 points. You were in the game for 23 minutes and you could only score 2 points. That's it. And then he had 2 turnovers. Bismack had 1. Devontae Graham had 2. Gordon Hayward had 5. Terry Rozier had 3. Miles had 2. LaMelo had 3. Okay. Cody had 2. Caleb had 1. The whole fucking team had fucking turnovers last night. That should tell you something, James Borrego. Maybe it's your playbook, dude. Maybe your playbook is making your Hornets play unsuccessful. Get it together.
Sam?
You guys were in the exact same position going into that fourth quarter, had a little bit of momentum there at the third. What was different between tonight and last night?
Making shots and getting stops. I think last night, I don't know what they scored. Today they still scored 30 in the fourth. Last night was a little bit different, Sam. So you got to get stops. When you put yourself in a hole like that, you have to get stops and you have to score. I thought we scored enough this quarter. We didn't get enough stops, though.
Let's go to Christos next.
Hello, Coach. I would like to ask you, how would you explain the third quarter of the game and after the 62-61 on the scoreboard?
Poor third quarter.
After the 62-61 score. About the run of the Orlando Magic after the 62-61.
Yeah, poor third quarter. I mean, they came out with more urgency. They made more shots. We came out flat for whatever reason. Third quarter we did not bring it. I thought the first quarter we had some momentum, and I think we closed the gap there at the end of the half. So we had some good momentum going into halftime. and we came out flat in the third quarter. I'm not sure if that was the defense, the offense, a combination of all that. So that starting group's got to be better to start third quarters.
Let's go to Richard and then Rick.
Coach Borrego, Richard Walker from CarolinaSportsHub.com. You know, you've tinkered a little bit with the lineups. Is there going to be more changes coming? Because you're struggling to get either good starts or good starts the second half. I mean, you know, as you look at it, do you think that change is the way to do it, or you're kind of determined to kind of see this through and see what it looks like moving forward?
Yeah, I don't have an answer for you right now. I mean, I'm going to evaluate and look at it. Obviously, there's other options we can go to, but bottom line, we just got to play better. You know, it doesn't matter. I guess we can tinker with the lineup, but guys got to step up and play better. That's the bottom line. And but you know, I'll always look at the lineup, see if there's some tweaking, some changes we can make. But overall, we just got to play better in general.
Go to Rick.
Maybe you've talked about how you feel like protecting the paint is imperative. How do you strike the balance between making sure that that's happening and not giving up an abundance of open threes?
Well, we want to do both. You know, obviously you can't. The elite teams, the elite defenses can try to do both. You know, we're at a point where we're committing to a certain area, but I'll watch the threes, Rick. I can't. You know, they shot it well. There were some open threes out there we got to clean up. Obviously, our number one priority is protecting the paint. You know, we've tried to do a little bit of both the last 2 seasons, and we've done neither well. We got to do at least one thing well, and I think we've done a pretty good job protecting the paint. We've been a top 10 defense all season to this point, and we'll continue to live in that area. Some nights, teams are going to make shots against you, and they're going to win games. That's the NBA. The Magic have not made 19 threes in a game all season. They made 19 tonight. Give them credit. So we'll continue to do what we do. We'll see the threes that we can clean up. We got to be better in that area. And, we'll move forward from there.
At this point, how much zone do you see yourself using going forward?
We'll continue to use zone.
Let's wrap up with Rafael, guys.
Hey, Coach Rafael from a 3-point conversion. Coach, how do you assess Cody so far? I think this is third or fourth game back. How do you assess his game and how he's coming along right now?
Yeah, he looked more comfortable tonight. You know, I thought this was probably the best of the few games he's been back. He looks like he's getting his legs back, his rhythm. He's playing. You know, the guys are getting more comfortable with him. I thought he helped us tonight. Much more comfortable. He can run the floor. He puts pressure on the rim. He's a playmaker at the top of the key. So, I thought tonight was the best night, you know, we've seen Cody since he's been back.
And do you like him playing with the bench combination with Melo and Miles, or are you thinking about putting him in, you know, as soon as you feel like he's more comfortable?
Yeah, I think that bench group could be really good. You know, I think that's a good combination of Miles, Cody, and Melo. You know, that's a good combination with a few other guys around them. You know, I'm not married to that, but for right now, that's the way we're going, and I do like that group.
All right, thank you, Coach. We'll head on over.
But what really is funny to me is how James Borrego, he seems when he does these podcasts and he does these interviews after the games or before the games, he seems so confused, or the way that he articulates himself it seems as though, or it comes off as though he's confused as to why things are not working with the formula he's choosing, or why they keep losing. And if you notice, if you're paying attention, you will see that these losses are not by large deficits. They are by, you know, numbers where it could have been a large impact based off of small differences. Small instances could have made a big difference in a lot of these games. And those small instances could have been appropriated by James. But James was too busy worrying about other things, like playing Lamelo Ball less time. Like, why is that your concern as a coach? Your concern should be to win. It shouldn't be oh, you're going to play nothing over this amount of minutes. I don't want you getting this triple-double tonight, or I don't want you breaking this stat tonight. How are you this focused on all of this bullshit when your main focus should be to win? I'll answer it. It's the politics in basketball. 9 times out of 10, your fave is not going to be able to admit it to you because they're at a higher platform than I am. So they're not going to be able to get this off their chest. But trust and believe, they're thinking it. Okay? At the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, there are going to be politics in basketball that play a major role in the way the wheels turn and they intricate. Okay? It's not going to change. It's been like that since the NBA began. Okay? And it's very similar to the government and how they keep certain things from us and they tell us what we want to hear, if you will, and they pacify us along and they condition us to certain things, and they won't tell us certain shit until it benefits them. Then they'll slowly start to pull the wool from over your eyes. But at that point, you've been pacified for so long that you're used to it. So you don't notice it. You don't notice it. You don't see it right away. But these are not simple coincidences, guys. This James Borrego issue is not a coincidence. This man is not this particular. This is not a superstar team that we're talking about here. These are not number one players, okay? These are players that have a lot of work to do. They're, and this speaks for itself, their most prominent player that they had prior to Melo was always Hayward. They just got him was Hayward. And the sad part about it is Hayward is injury prone. So they were going to have to fall back on something. So it just does not make any sense to the organization to be moving backwards when they should be moving forward. It just makes absolutely no sense. I mean, I'm willing to hear how you all feel about it. Hey, drop down in the comments. Let me know, because these different, perspectives on this, they should help me, because I am very biased when it comes to this. I feel like the NBA is rigged as shit, and you can't tell me no different. I really feel that way. And basketball is my favorite sport. And for a while, I almost let the fact that it is so rigged deter me from it. But I had to let that go. And I've had to figure out how to put that energy into something else so that I don't leave it bottled up inside of me, because it is frustrating. And if I'm on the outside looking in and it's frustrating me, I can only imagine how some of these players feel to be knee deep in the shit. And it's their lives. Like, we're just commenting on it. They're living this shit. So, I mean, it's just really interesting when you think about it. I mean, hey, what can you do? I hope they fire him. I hope they get his ass out of there. And I'm going to keep on saying this shit. Free Lamelo. If you like content like this, be sure to like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss out.